President Trump took steps on Friday to begin dismantling the Dodd-Frank financial regulations that were put into place following the economic crash of '08. Take a listen to President Trump talking with Jamie Dimon, the CEO of J.P. Morgan Chase.
So many people, friends of mine, that have nice businesses, they can't borrow money, they just can't get any money because the banks just won't let them borrow because of the rules and regulations and Dodd-Frank, so we'll be talking about that.
You have long called for stronger banking regulation. There is this study by the Harvard Kennedy School of Government that found that community banks were having a difficult time complying with the regulations in Dodd-Frank. Do you see any upside at all to relaxing any of the Dodd-Frank regulations?
You know, it is hard not to laugh to see President Trump alongside these Wall Street guys. To say this, Jake, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. This guy is a fraud. This guy ran for president of the United States saying, Donald Trump, I'm going to take on Wall Street. These guys are getting away with murder. Then suddenly he appoints all of these billionaires. His major financial advisor comes from Goldman Sachs, and now he's going to dismantle legislation that protects consumers. This is a guy who ran for president saying, I'm the only Republican. I'm not going to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And then he appoints all of these guys who are precisely going to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. So I hope that all of those folks who voted for Mr. Trump because he thought that he would stand up for working people, man, this guy is, he's a good showman. I will give you that. He's a good TV guy. But I think he's going to sell out the middle class and the working class of this country and that business on Wall Street. He told us, in fact, it's in the Republican platform, he is going to bring back Glass-Steagall. We're going to be dividing up commercial banks from investor banks from insurance companies. Then he has all of the big Wall Street guys on his side, and now he's working for Wall Street.
But, Senator Sanders, while you very strongly made the case throughout the campaign after Hillary Clinton got the nomination that President Trump would do this, and that even though he was using some of the same rhetoric you used when it came to Wall Street, not to believe him and trust him, there were a lot of Sanders supporters out there who I think believed President Trump, then candidate Trump, partly because there had been so many accusations of Hillary Clinton being so tied to Wall Street.
Well, here is my only point, Jake. Look, it is one thing if you run a campaign that says, look, I think Wall Street's great. I think the drug companies are great. I think we have to cut Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. And if people want to vote for that, that's fine. That's democracy. But you have a president who I think in a total fraudulent campaign said that I'm going to stand up for the working people. Look at his cabinet. We've never had more billionaires in a cabinet in the history of this country. Look at his appointees. These are people who are going to go after the needs of working families, the elderly, the children, the sick, and the poor. That is called hypocrisy. And by the way, I think people like Mitch McConnell, who you just had on, who is a mainstream conservative politician, are going to be put into a very, very difficult place. And I would hope that people like Senator McConnell and other Republicans have the courage to stand up, A, to Trump's movement toward authoritarianism, toward a situation where Trump says, everybody is terrible and wrong. I am the only guy who can protect the American people. Well, you know what? Men and women in our military did not stand up and fight and die to lead us in the direction of an authoritarian society. We are a democracy, not a one-man show. We are not another Trump enterprise. It's called the United States of America. We're not a business run by Mr. Trump. And I hope that Senator McConnell, who's a decent guy, conservative guy, I disagree with him on everything. But I would hope that he and his Republican friends will make it clear to Trump that this country belongs to all of us and that it's not a one-man show.
Senator